An elderly man has died after being hit by a car at Evans Head near Lismore this morning. Police say the accident happened right in front of a group of school children who were waiting for the bus.
A morning walk turned to tragedy in Evans Head this morning. A 76-year-old man hit by a car while trying to cross a quiet suburban street.
Ambulance arrived quickly on the scene along with police, and they conducted CPR, but unfortunately the elderly gentleman passed away on scene.
Terrible, shocking for a little place like this.
People don't seem to go too fast around here. I didn't even hear a scream of brakes or anything.
Police say the 46-year-old female driver had just travelled through Woodburn Street and into Wattle when she collided with the man. The whole incident witnessed by several people, including children waiting for the school bus. Police will now interview the driver and witnesses to piece together exactly what happened this morning, but officers don't believe speed was a factor. The female driver has undergone mandatory blood and urine tests. Police say the community is in shock.
All the residents do know each other, and it is just a terrible situation that the local community will work through.
Annalise Rosendale, NBN News.
Over the past 48 hours, Tamworth has experienced a spike in crime. More than 20 break-ins have been reported. Among those, 4 businesses in Tamworth's CBD. Last night, a house on Cypress Street was set upon by thieves who then stole the resident's car. This morning, it was found on fire in Northcote Close. 15 vehicles have been reported stolen since Friday.
I believe that there is a group of young people, mainly, who are involved in the theft of these motor vehicles, and they're attempting to engage the police in pursuits, which not only provides danger to themselves but other members of the community.
After 22 years of service, Gosford City Council's General Manager has decided to call it a day. Peter Wilson today reflected on his time in the top job at one of the country's biggest councils.
Just another day at the office for Peter Wilson. And while a change is on the horizon, he's loving it right till the end.
There is never a day that I don't arrive in this office and with some challenge.
Mr Wilson has overseen many major projects in his time in charge. The construction of Gosford City Stadium and the Peninsula Leisure Centre, just to name a few. The rebuilding of Gosford City Surf Clubs, upgrades to parks and playgrounds, as well as the development of the Peninsula Recreation Precinct, high on the list of his achievements. He also guided the city through the worst drought in history and oversaw the completion of the Mardi Mangrove Pipeline link.
Our storages were getting down towards 10%, and we were looking at how we would continue to provide water supplies to the Central Coast. What it did do, it created a whole change of culture on the Central Coast, so that we realised that we were dealing with a limited resource.
While the Gosford City Challenge has certainly lived up to its name.
I've got no doubt that the waterfront will be developed, and it'll be developed in a manner which satisfies the majority of the community. Unfortunately, you won't satisfy everyone, but I'm sure the result will be the best outcome for the whole of Gosford.
Hitting the waves and fairways is where you'll most likely see the GM once his tenure finishes on June 22. But there's plenty he'll miss in the council environment.
We have highly dedicated, highly skilled and highly motivated staff, and it's a pleasure to come to work every day to be a part of that.
Michael Kane, NBN News.
A collaborative research network for mental health was launched at the University of New England today. The network will investigate and implement strategies to improve the quality of mental health facilities in regional areas.
The University of New England has its sights set on tackling mental health in regional areas. Alongside 5 other universities, it's working to improve mental health services in smaller communities over the next 2 years.
It's working together to try and build capability here at the University of New England in mental health research, and particularly in areas of support to help people who do suffer from mental illness.
Today, Acting Vice-Chancellor Annabelle Duncan announced the network will have 3 main focuses: suicide prevention, helping those who are marginalised, and biomedical health.
We would hope that we would be able to have programs out there and support structures in place by the time this program, or the first part of this program, is over in 2.5 years.
Parliamentary Secretary for Higher Education and Skills Sharon Bird says there's no doubt that people in rural areas are more vulnerable to mental health issues. She's glad to see the research being done at a university that is well connected to regional communities.
We want to see that people who come from those areas are able to get access to the sorts of expertise and services that can address that problem, and that's exactly what this great team of researchers coming together is all about.
The federal government will contribute $4.8 million towards the research. Vivienne von Drainen, NBN News.
Organisers of Newcastle's embattled Matara Festival will present their case to Council tomorrow night as the fight continues over the event's future. Council has backed down on some proposed changes, including the festival dates, but a stoush over funding remains. It has concerns about the fairground's commercial operators, claiming there could be a conflict of interest, but Matara organisers are resisting changing companies. And at this stage, they say they still won't be able to afford to put on the street parade.
A Port Macquarie school is doing its bit to encourage the next generation of scientists. The Adventist School staged a science expo today for 125 preschoolers. The idea behind the event is to make the subject fun and interesting and prove that you're never too young to develop a love of science.